Pardon? Yeah, it's something really great. Hello, Mr. Ali. Mr. Ali, you there?
I'm here. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just having trouble with the network, but yeah, fix it.
I'm guessing everyone's having trouble with network because even my network as well was having troubles. But I'm glad at least it has behaved.
Yeah, even mine just came back. I think it's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's managed to behave. I'm guessing. So yeah, if it behaved, at least that's good.
Yeah. I hope it won't misbehave as we are going on.
I pray, like right now we speak a prayer over every person using the internet or every internet provider, asking that nothing shall stop or stumble our meeting today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Now, Father, we call your grace, we call your holy name to come and be able to dwell within us.
Amen.
Meeting to be able to start.
Amen.
Just for those that are joining us on Facebook, all those that are joining us on Twitter, all those that are joining us on YouTube, I'd like to welcome you. This is an amazing moment to share something inspirational. Right here at the moment, I have Mr. Ali Shabani all the way from Congo, guys. Wow. Some guy, he's an amazing person, does amazing work. Aspiring to be NBA player one day, as I said, aspiring, but yeah. But yeah, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. It's a beautiful morning. Yes, and let the Holy Spirit come and dwell within us, because it's not by us who get to actually do this, but it's through the Holy Spirit, and through him, we get to enjoy this class. So welcome everyone. Thank you very much. I can see more people joining. I can see Daniel Bior. How you doing, man? Daniel, you're muted.
Oh, Paul, thank you, brother. At least I've made it today. I've been struggling, Bana.
No more struggling.
Yeah.
No more struggling.
Good to see you again, bro.
Good to see you too, man. It's been a pleasure.
Okay.
And it's always a pleasure just to get to have so many people joining. And today, at least as even we go live,
yes,
we get to do amazing things.
So where are the members?
Well, just a second. Okay. So yeah, members are still coming in. I can see Ali Shaban is here. I can see Kerian is back. Yes. At least power issues are not happening, and we hope and we pray that no more power issues or no more internet issues that we get to have. But we just get to jump straight into it. So yeah. So I was finding out how Ali, Shabani, and Kerian, their weeks have been. So tell us, how's your week been?
Hey, my week has been boring. I tried to connect with you people. You know, last week I missed out. So this time around, at least now, I have that excitement now of joining you guys. Yeah, but my week has been good, not bad. But finally, I made it now to join you online.
Yeah. Amen. And we are grateful. I appreciate you guys, and I thank you very much. So yeah, but just to ask, what is it now that you're doing since school's out? You're almost done with school, right? Or you're done?
Done, yes.
So now, okay. So now, what do you look forward to?
Okay, like for me, I wanted to do, if I get the opportunity to continue with my studies, I can do my master's. Then, and also maybe attending such a training like leadership training. I'm passionate about leadership.
Okay.
That's why you see me, I've joined you. So I can get some insight from you also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really amazing. Yeah. Maybe at least also Kerian can tell us again, just so that also Bior and Ali can be able to tell us. So Kerian, please just tell us what now, what next? What next, please?
Okay, right now I'm still doing my studies. So I need to finish, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do some online courses in order to master some of my some of the softwares and what like we don't the school doesn't teach us.
Okay.
But it's actually out there, and you really need these skills in order to survive, in order to be marketable. So
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, with the courses, the data courses. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. I can see people looking ahead. Sometimes I'm like, if only back then were this sharp, probably wouldn't be doing these courses right now. I would be far ahead.
Actually, I'm not trying to do the same mistake you guys did.
Wow! Wow!
Yeah. So let's try to get these skills while we are still in school. Yeah.
I agree. But that's a wise move, though. Being able to say that, okay, fine, let's get more skills so that I can actually have something better ahead of me. Because sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes we tend to delve and say, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay, and there's no need for me to learn or add any more skills. But yet we forget to understand that these skills are the ones that actually foster us to go forward. And when they foster us to be able to go forward, then we're able to see, okay, fine, where next can I go? Or where next am I able to go? And it's really helpful. But the moment we don't, then it also just pulls us back. But it's not about saying that, oh, okay, fine, I should spend my time now just learning all these courses and everything. It's not that way. It's just the more at least we get to understand, the more we get prepared. And it's not about just also knowing the knowledge and then saying, okay, fine, because I have the knowledge, I need to just do whatever I want. No, you have to be able to know the knowledge and also know how to use it. So it's like reading the Bible. The same way I was telling you guys, the Bible is one of the inspirational books. You can read the Bible and it will give you a lot of knowledge. But if you don't know how you use it, then it becomes a problem.
It just become a novel, actually.
Yes.
If you don't read and apply.
Yeah. All right. Ali Shabani, what about you now?
Elaine?
Yes.
Elaine?
Yes.
You know, I've been having network problems. I didn't get the chance to hear about Kirian and the question you asked, unless you've come back to it.
Yes, it's the same question I'm asking.
Yeah,
it's the same question I'm asking right now, and Kirian has just explained it. It's just that thing of what next now? Because at least for you, I know you're done with your masters, or you're still working on it.
Yeah, I'm done with my coursework, so now I'm writing my thesis. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's Ali Shabani, huh?
Yes.
So you masters in what?
Yes. I was doing. Okay, I'm doing human resource management. Yes.
So you're the people that want to be able to tell people you're hired or you're fired.
Definitely. And more. Yeah.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it gets to that space where you want to let's work on it.
Why is this network bad today? Goodness.
You have a lot of people in your background. Hi, I can see Joyce is around. Hi, Joyce. Joyce, can you be able to hear me? Okay, her audio is connecting now. Good morning, Joyce. Joyce, good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good morning, Peter.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. So how's your week been?
It's a busy, but it's okay.
Pardon?
It's been fine.
It's been fine.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good. I'm glad you could be able to join us. Mr. Meshach is back. All right. Glad to have you all. Thank you all for coming in. I hope all our internet issues have been stable now. As we've prayed, God is here, so he's actually going to stabilize everything. Okay? Mr. Meshach.
Yeah, yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You're well. Okay, that's good. I was just finding out how everyone's week has been, just before we maybe can kick start off.
Yeah. I'm sorry, as I told you, I don't know what am I going to say because I'm not stable where I am. I'm on the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't give my view, but I think I'll be in about 10 minutes. I'm sitting somewhere.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All right. Just maybe at least okay, fine. As we wait for most others, just a recap, maybe in the next 2 minutes, and then we can just be able to officially start off. As we had prayed in the morning, as with Ali Shaban, as we prayed, saying that the Lord's Spirit should be here, no internet issues should happen. Just a recap, maybe just to get to see how people have been. Daniel, last week we were talking about the relationship issues that actually we go through. Trying to be a real success one. What's the relationship aspect that we need to do with people that we work with or people that we desire or aspire to be able to work with? So just to find out, I think Daniel and Joyce, you had missed last week's session, but most of them are actually still up on the platforms. That's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. In case you have any questions or any review on them, you can be able to review them there, and then always available to answer any questions that you have in mind. Yes. So yeah, maybe Ali and Kerian, maybe one of you can just tell us what was just the highlight from last week. Kerian, Ali, are you guys?
Well, last week we talked about relationship rules. Yeah, basically we gave out 10 rules that you are explaining like one by one. I don't know if I have to go through them again.
No. What I'm asking you is, what was your highlight from it? Something that stood out for you, because even with just the little reflection questions that I sent you guys, just to be able to have your time to think about it, to journal about it, because that it was not for you to answer back, it's for you to say, okay, fine, where am I now and where am I going? So what stood out for you, something that made you see and say, okay, this is maybe a step that I need to work on, or something that I say, okay, this is my strength?
If I refer to the first question, the screenshot you sent, where we're talking about Roosevelt's statement about the most important thing or ingredient to the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. That's a question that I really took time to think about and came to realize that among the 10, 11 relationship rules, there's this one of adding value to people.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, by adding value to people, referring to this question, I came to realize that one, to be successful, will need to invest in people instead of investing in money most of the time. Invest in relation with people, because most of the time, not only money will take you to the point you want to be, but you also meet people that will help you get there. So at some point, we need to really invest in people who are around us, and maybe people who are pretty far from us. We need to invest time-wise, and everything. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. What about you, Miss Kerian?
For me, what I got from last meeting, I got that the relationship with people is the one which form the base of everything, not only success, not only leadership, but like everything in our everyday life. And also the leadership as we discussed about it is most of the ability to work with the people, not like ruling or giving others, or it's actually that ability to work with those people. Okay. And then from the questions you sent, there is that one you're saying about like how have your relationships affected your level of success. I think it's that one. Like the relationships now, when you get to know the people, when you get to interact with people, you can actually get let me just say opportunities, right? To get the opportunities which will might help you grow and succeed. That's something I can talk about.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you.
Wow, amazing. And I can actually see that this is not just something that we look at individually to say that I can only succeed by myself, and say that I don't need people around me, because if you want to take a walk alone. If you want to go far, walk with people. So yeah, maybe I just an insight. Daniel or Joyce, you can just tell us, what does it mean to work with people? Like, for you to achieve success, what does that mean for you if you're told you need to work with people? Yes, Daniel.
Okay, like for me, maybe we have to be specific about the question that we're asking about relationship. Is it relationship between your colleagues, the people that you're working with, or is it with the customers? We need to look at those dynamic.
Eventually, it goes always, because how do you want to be able to achieve success? Is it you having your sole proprietor, whereby you're a business owner, and how do you deal with your customers? What's your relationship like with them? Or is it you now who is, maybe, let's say you've gained a job opportunity and you're working with people around you, with your colleagues? How then do you achieve success with the relationships that you have with them?
Then that one now will first go to your brand. What is it that you are passionate about in life? And how do you want to improve people's life through what you have? So automatically you will be able to attract people to what you are doing. Okay. And also you must be honest with the kind of business that you are running, whether it is business or anything that you are doing. Like now you are doing training for leadership. And I know you have the passion for it. And that's why we are coming, because we know you're offering at least something that is good for us. So for you to be successful, you must be also willing to listen to those people whom you are training, your customers or anyone. You must be willing to listen to them. Okay. And also you must be someone who is trustworthy. with what you are doing. Yeah. And that's how I can take it. When people trust in you, automatically your business will go well.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. That's okay. Interesting. Nice. Bio, are you sure you don't have my notes? I'm trying to see if you didn't have my laptop.
Imagine I don't have.
All right.
I don't have.
Maybe Joyce, what about you? What do you think?
Okay, personally, I feel like either way, you always need people because at the end of the day, God created all of us so we can like be able to work together. And everyone has their own skills. Everybody has their own different whatever it is that you may need. So yeah, at the end of the day, you just need to learn how to work with people no matter what.
All right. But now you're saying no matter what. What if you can't deal with them?
I think you just have to learn, like you master the art.
The art. Okay, that's interesting. All right, guys. I'm really amazed at least with the answers that you're giving. Mr. Mashak, have you been able to settle? Maybe, or should I give you some more time?
Hello. Yeah, I think soon about 1 minute I'll be settled.
All right. So once you're settled, just put your thumbs up, and then
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Once you put a thumbs up, I'll be able to know. All right, guys. It's really great just to have each and everyone. It's a beautiful morning. I don't know, anyone feeling cold yet? Okay, for me at least the sun is out today. So yeah, I know in Nairobi it's a bit cold right now. I know there's other places as well it's cold, but yes, we're still good to go. Our minds are fresh and we're refreshed to actually be able to learn something new. So yeah, last week we talked about relationships, rules. Today we're going to talk about equipping. As I said, we're going to be breaking down the word real, R-E-A-L. So relationship, today we're talking about equipping. And we're just going to have something interesting about equipping that not per se that we understand that it's about giving people materials or just giving people money or just being able to take your whole self and just giving yourself to someone. But what does it mean to equip someone? So equipping, great leaders grow their vision from me to we. What does that mean? It means that when you decide to have a vision set for your life and you want to be able to involve other people, it's no longer about yourself. It's no longer about your own personal gain, but it's about how do we collectively now work together to achieve a common goal. It's the same thing now when we talk about God's kingdom. Why am I saying God's kingdom? It's because if you're a pastor and then you decide to say that, oh, I have a great vision to go and reach out to people and everyone's focusing on you, then, and you feel like you're the only one who has all the ideas or you're the only one who wants to go far. Most of the time what happens is everything ends and dies with you and not other people catch on to the vision. But if you're able to spread it out and make other people understand why you're reaching out to people and what does it mean to be able to help people return back to the kingdom, then you stop from creating a small-minded mentality to a movement-wide kind of generation that will keep on going, and disciples are actually created within that. So it all depends with how do you then think, first of all, your mentality to what do I need to do for me to equip others? What do I need to do for me to inspire others? What do I need to do for me to share this vision and they can also understand, okay, this vision is not only my personal gain, but it can actually help us, all of us, elevate. And this elevation comes in from how can we work together? I love how Joyce was saying that, yeah, well, we're all created by God and, we have to learn. It's that space because it's true. We don't have to be in our comfortable zone and think that that's the best place we can be, but how can we actually enrich ourselves even more to find out more things that we can do, to find out greater things that we can do. And this cuts across, whether is it in business, is it in family, is it in relationships, is it in the church sector, all these cuts across, and it's something that we all need to work on ourselves. So I just give you, like, right now, I'll give you 8 things why people fail to actually equip. So why do we fail to equip others? Because it's hard work. The reason why it's hard work, someone is not ready to take their time to sit down with someone and actually nurture them slowly by slowly. It's the same thing with discipleship. When you get someone and tell them, oh, hey, let's sit down, I'd like to mentor you in such things, right? You find that what's happening is you will sit down with that person. Maybe they won't get it today, they won't get it tomorrow, they won't get it the next day. Then somehow they start getting it after that. And slowly by slowly, you find them grasping up to it. But you see, we find that I want to teach someone in one day and they get it. We talk about how when we were young, doing math homeworks at home. For me, I remember most of the time, if I didn't get it, I knew there was a lash that was coming right at me. It either was a slap or a big cane that just hit me, and they're like, why are you not getting that? You need to be understanding this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm working on it slowly. But because when I was growing up, most of the time, my learning speed was not as quick as everyone else. So it took me time to be able to grasp some things. And once I grasped it, then I was able to actually say, okay, fine, now I'm moving on, now I'm getting things to go. And all these actually then become something that we need to work on as well. Because the time you want to take for you to learn something should be able to be in the same heart to say, okay, fine, if I want to teach someone else that same thing so that I can actually see them also grow and sprout up, then I need to be able to take the same time, take the same chances, and also be able to say, okay, fine, let's work on it slowly. Number 2, we underestimate people. Why are people underestimated? Is because everyone looks at you and they feel like you can't amount to anything, or they already judge you by the book, by just the look of you, and they don't understand who you are inside. So because you're not able to show your capabilities just when you're there, so they feel like you can't really amount to gaining or to attributing what they want. And usually that's how you find a lot of people get to, because even myself, I know recently before I had done that, and that becomes a problem, because then it stops us from actually being able to attribute to anything. Because when we undermine others, we don't understand their potential that they can give us for us to be able to also to see them grow. Then number 3, we enjoy doing the task ourselves. You find that maybe you become that person whereby you're given a task and you can actually do to the large number of people, but then you start to say, okay, I think I can get this done by myself. I don't need actually to get anyone done, right? So you decide to work on it, and then after that, when you're done working on it, you're like, guys, okay, fine, just this is the work that's been done. I'll talk about it like, coursework in Daystar. You find that you guys have been put in a group, and so you have someone who, for them, they're always they want to do it alone. So they get the chance, they work on it so quickly, they finish everything, then they tell you guys, put your names on it. But what happens is, or maybe that they don't say put your name on it. They say, this is my work, you guys can't do anything about it. But what happens is now, you don't have the ability to work with people, because now you never got to understand what views did the other person in the group have? What ideas did they have that could actually be able to be helpful? What new things could they do that they're actually growing and being able to maximize their potentials as well? So you tend to limit all these people, and then it becomes a problem. Then number 4, we receive ego strength from being needed. I'll repeat that. We receive ego strength from being needed. Why we fail to equip people is because you want someone to tell you, I need you, or we need your help. So because you feel like you're the boss, you don't need anyone's help, or you can do everything. I know, like my friend here, Ali Shaban, sometimes in basketball, you want to basically, you tell him, Ali, we need you. So that you can say, okay, fine, guys, I'm coming. Let me come and help you. Yeah. But it's just that space. So it's just that thing of how are we able to actually do this? How are we able to impact ourselves to actually know that we don't need to have that ego strength to say, okay, fine, okay, I'm actually doing this. Okay, I'm actually being able to work with others better. I don't need for them to start saying, hey, we need you, come, and begging. It doesn't work that way. How can we be able to just pull ourselves, humble ourselves to know that, yes, we can actually help others without having a personal gain in it? Yes, Daniel. Okay, Daniel or Meshach, was there anything you wanted to say? Because I can see you've unmuted.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
About number 3, since most people want to do the tasks themselves, can you say that lazy people can be good leaders then?
Pardon?
Can you say lazy people can be good leaders?
Define lazy.
Like people who want things done for them and not by themselves.
People who want
things done for them.
But not by themselves.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone is actually a leader. It just depends on the capacity of leading that you're in. So what happens now is that someone needs to get out of their comfort zone, because it doesn't dictate or say that, oh, you need to be able to have great views or have great ideas for you to be a leader. It's that space of whereby if you have a vision and you know where you're going, how then can you lead people? So leading people does not necessarily mean that you need to be the smartest, you need to be the brightest, or you need to be the most charismatic person, or you need to have all these attributed skills, or you need to be the biggest. No, it's about how are you reasoning? How are you being able to direct others into doing something? So someone can be lazy where they want things to be done for them, right? But it's for them to say, okay, fine, if I want to be able to lead, I need to step out of this bracket of me pushing myself back and holding myself back. Because I feel like laziness just attributes from, I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I'm afraid I'm going to say something wrong. I'm afraid these people won't listen to me. So you decide to pull back and say, okay, fine, let me do the minimum. And that's why we decide to say, oh, this person is lazy. But we can actually be able to look at these leaders who are actually great because they decide to say, I'm not going to conform to what everyone sees me as, but I'm going to work on myself and say, okay, fine, can I be able to step out and be someone different? So I'm not ordinary anymore. I'm an extraordinary person.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yes. Lesha.
Yes.
Okay, I can see.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. Good to have you. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right. I hope you've been well, though.
Sorry?
I hope you have been well.
Yeah, I have been good. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry to be late.
No worries.
I'm privileged as I can't see other people are like, okay, where is Meshach? That's what we are saying about working with others, not being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I should say thank you first of all for the leadership you are doing. Like for any leader, as we are saying, let me just go straight direct. When we say walk or walk with people, what does it mean? First of all, due to my understanding, a leader should be someone who cares.
Mm-hmm.
A leader should be someone who understands. I'm working with these people, or why do they believe or trust me? I think before someone can trust you, you have to trust yourself. Then you have to prove to other people that you really trust them. because if there's no trust, there's no work, there's no nothing, there's no improvement where there's no where there is doubt. So let's take the problem we are having the entire continent of Africa is that first of all we don't trust ourselves. You're going to find some African leaders, they can't go direct to other leaders of different countries, like tell them, I'm having this problem and how can you help me, or how can I go to the African Union and tell them to help me? But it's very quick for our African leaders to go direct to the European countries and they tell the problem they are having, while those people in Europe, they really don't know the problems we are living. But perhaps a president of a neighboring country can be more helpful than just going for. It's because of most of our leaders, they don't trust themselves and they don't trust others. Like when I tell him or her my problems or the problem I'm facing in the country, everyone will be informed about them. Okay, let's go direct to say like who should be a leader. I think you don't have to be that smart to be a leader, and you don't have to be that stupid again to be a leader, because we have seen some leaders who are, I'm sorry, I don't know the word I should use, but in an African way, let me say they seem to be stupid. Why? Because they were not that smart. Most of our leaders, they have been used because of their low understanding of rolling things. And we had some leaders, we usually, before we called them dictators, but I think such people in those times, those guys were smart, knowing how to deal with their people, knowing how to deal with the people you are ruling. Not like today, while you're going to find the leaders, they can't communicate directly with the people they are leading. So while you don't understand the people, while you don't understand the voice of the people you are leading, it's really difficult to work with them. First of all, a leader should be like, that's why I say, don't be that much smart and don't be that much stupid, but just be in the middle of all things. Make yourself to be stupid so that you can understand what the people want and how can you can help them. And after knowing what they want, from there you know how you can deal with them. But when you are too smart, you can't have time. You see, even at school, smart people, those who are really, really smart, they have perhaps for them it's at the end of the semester they have A plus. It's really hard to confront them and talking to them. Even though when you are doing group work with them, they're like, what are you going to tell me? I always have 3.9. You see, like when you are more smart, you can't work with the people because you always think I'm that smart. I can't go. Let's take as example in the football team. When someone knows I'm just me, they can't do nothing when I'm not there. I'm telling you, those guys, they don't work hard like the people who just know that I'm working with this person so that we can go far. Like what you said, let's take Brother Ali, as long as he's good in football or basketball. Like if he could be just someone of saying, if I'm not there, I think they won't do anything. You see, when he just has such minds, I'm telling you, he can't be working hard like other people who just believe like my effort and the effort of my colleague, we can do this thing. So it's just about not being that much more smart and don't be that much stupid. Just be in the middle while you can know how to deal with people, and you have to have a vision where you are taking them. That should be my small review about it. Thank you.
All right. That's really good. And thank you for that. By the way, Ali, please do not take this personal that we're using your example. You know,
I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy
we know
about
him.
that. Yes, brother Meshach, yes, I'm very good in football, by the way.
Yeah, that's good.
Ali, I hope you're not using this point in time to make yourself famous so that you can be called for the next Arando.
No, I learn even you, see, you know.
All right. Thank you very much, Meshach, for that great insight that you've given us, which is it's really true. Yeah. So yes, we're going to number 5. We are in a habit of doing everything. So you feel like you're Superman, and you can carry the world on your shoulders, so you feel like you don't need anyone else to actually help you. And then this also becomes a problem because you just feel like I don't need anyone else, so I'm good to go on my own. Then number 6, we want to keep control. If you feel like this thing is not going your way, then you decide to say, no, it's not happening. And to be honest, for me, I had the same problem. Not only with my schoolwork, even in my relationship life, because there's some things whereby I was like, it has to go like this. And most of the time my girlfriend would tell me, do you think that maybe someone else's option can go? And because I was that person whereby I had also ego strength, whereby when people told me, oh, we need you, and I didn't want to just look like as if, yes, I'm ego strength, but I'll just keep quiet and say, oh, we need you. I'm like, okay, how can I help? Right? You put up that smile, like, everything is okay and all that. But it's until I had to break myself down to understand, okay, who am I and what am I becoming? Is it that, oh, I'm ego strength now that I need to continue, or this control, how can I let go of it? How can I know that not every idea that I have is actually something that you're able to make it pass through? Sometimes you're going to be disappointed. Not everything that you're thinking is right. Someone may have a better idea, and slowly by slowly, I got to learn that aspect whereby, I had to remove myself from trying to be controllable of everything, trying to make sure that everything is in my hands. And that's also even what made me now trust God more, to know that let God take control. And for me, let me understand that his will is perfect for my life. And that's where it's got me until today. And I'm grateful and I'm happy for the development and the change. So that's where my transformation comes in. Then number 7, we don't notice leadership potential in those around us. Because for me, I look at the people in this group right now. I look at Mashak, Ali, Joyce, Daniel, Kerian, Alex. I believe all of you, like, I have this enormous faith that all of you can actually be great leaders. All of you can actually be able to take on the world, and you're called to many nations. All of you have the ability to go and do something different, something of change, something that is remarkable, something to bring back God's kingdom, something to bring back things to a place where they should be. It's just that space where all of us have to be able to work on it. It's just that space where all of us are saying, okay, fine, how can actually we have our potential to actually do something great? But you find that most of the time, when you're working with others and they decide to undermine you, they decide to not listen to you, they don't want to work with you, they don't tend to notice your leadership potential that you have. And when someone doesn't get to notice your leadership potential, meaning that you yourself don't even get to maximize. As giving an example, I don't know whether I've given it to you guys before, whereby Prince EA, when I love listening to some of his spoken word things on net, and he says that when he was talking to some pilots, a pilot told him that when he wants to move from point A to point B, he doesn't go straight. What he does is he has to go higher for him to actually get to point B. But if he does decide to go straight, he actually finds out he lands below the place he actually wanted to land to. And then he analyzed it and said again that that's the same way we humans should actually look at others. If I look at Ali with a potential to say, Ali, you can be greater than who you right now you are, Ali will be able to see, oh, okay, I need to grow and actually get to where he's supposed to be. But if I undermine Ali can never get to even this potential, because he feels like I can't amount to anything. I can't be able to fulfill what I have in my heart or my dreams or anything like that. He sees like there's nothing, there's no value. Let me be just a normal person, an ordinary person. And I love the words of Miles Monroe, that you were never created to be ordinary. But if you decide to be ordinary, then you'll have an ordinary life, ordinary job, ordinary family, and then we will bury you in an ordinary coffin, and then we'll forget about you and move on. But what's that thing that you want to leave as a mark, something that's remarkable, so that it's not about saying that, yes, everyone has to remember you, but you also are fulfilled within yourself that, yes, when I go out, when I go back to meet my Father in heaven, at least there is something impactful that I was able to leave as well. Maybe is it a business idea? Is it a business sector that I was able to raise up to its potential? Or is it a political instability that I was able to handle? Or is it about a marriage or family issue that I was able to help? Or is it about the gospel that I was able to share? All these aspects, all these places and variables work in you, work through you, through God's strength that actually He gives you. So it's just that, are you ready to actually see someone's maximum potential? Are you ready to also find out their leadership abilities? And it all works with us saying, okay, fine, let's be able to work on it. Let's be able to see the potential that people have around them. So just before we get into the teamwork laws, something maybe I just we just want to look at and see. So what does it mean? Equipping for success. Deciding that people on your team are worth equipping and developing is the first step to a better team. People when you have a team and you feel like, no, they're not worth it, no, they don't deserve it, then what you're doing is you're not actually going to help them. And these guys also not going to have the relevance to say, okay, fine, let's do this, let's get it done. But how well do you be able to achieve it? So one of the quotes John says in his book is, 1 is too small a number to achieve greatness, right? So that's where we're going, as we're saying that here, if you want to be able to walk alone, if you want to be able to just to do something quickly, walk alone. But if you want to be able to go far, walk with people, right? So just the things we're talking about, the myth of a lone ranger, someone who thinks so far. Someone who thinks that they can go alone so far. Nothing of significance was ever achieved by an individual acting alone, right? So take that time to say, okay, fine. If nothing was ever achieved by an individual alone, what does it mean now? How can we work together, right? So why do people want to stand alone? One, it's because it's ego, right? But here's something that you look at. It marks a big step in your development when you come to realize that other people can help you do a better job than you could do alone. What we're just talking about. People want to have ego strength and feel like you just, all the time they need you, but when is the time that you're going to say, okay, fine, I need help as well? So it's a big step to actually, when you take to develop yourself to say, okay, fine, I need to have a team. I need to have people that can help me. The other is insecurity. Only secure leaders give power to others. Some people are insecure and you feel like, maybe if I give this person this task, hey, tomorrow my boss will come and find that, hey, you've been able to give someone a task. Okay, fine. I think we don't need you, so let me relieve you. But what you're doing actually is being able to raise more and more leaders. But how is that going to happen? That can only happen if you are ready to be able to say, okay, fine, hey, I have this task to be done, so I'll give you half of this and I do the other half, and let's put it together and let's have a great idea. But not just to say, okay, fine, go get me coffee, go print this, go do this. Because even this person that you're working with, for them, they also want to have relevance. And being your coffee person, your printing person, your stapling person, sometimes just won't cut it out for them. They need to have more than that, right? So leaders who fail to promote teamwork undermine their own potential as well, and they erode the best effort of people within whom they work, right? So just 3 things. Fail to promote teamwork, they undermine their own potential, and erode the best efforts of other people within their work. So you find that you don't tend to work on these things better. And these people feel like, okay, I'm irrelevant in this team, so why am I here? And if I'm irrelevant, then I don't need to actually be here at all. And yet everyone is relevant in a team. Then the other is naivety, right? People becoming naive. So some naively underestimate the difficulty of achieving big things, right? They underestimate the difficulty of achieving big things. So others discover that their dreams are bigger than their capabilities, and they just adjust, right? So it's just that space of, okay, maybe I want to be able to become a big person, like a big business. But you find that for me to bring up this big business, I need to have partners. And for me to have partners, it means that, yes, eventually there's some equal share of certain things that we're going to have to share. But people are like, no, you know what? I'll be able to work on it myself. I just get more and more employees. But what happens is all these employees that you're going to get, and you fail to have partners who are going to actually help you in different sectors, you tend to, some balls will drop, and all these balls that get to drop, employees now tend to feel like, okay, I'm not relevant in this, I'm not needed. And you find that they get to just go away, and they get to just be like they leave, and then you're left alone, and you wonder, okay, fine, how well can I be able to improve myself? Another one, temperament. Some people simply aren't outgoing and simply don't think in terms of team building or equipping. This goes back to the example Joyce was giving us. Some people, if they are lazy and want others to do things for them, it's not about saying that, and as I was explaining to you, it's not about just saying that, oh, you don't want to do it, but some people just feel like, I'm not outgoing enough, or maybe I'm not charismatic enough, or maybe I can't inspire others the same way this person does. So maybe it's best for me to just relax, things will get done, and then we'll get a grade. But it's that space whereby, are you ready to step out? Are you ready to be someone who can actually sprout out and say, okay, fine, this is what I want to do, and this is who I'm going to be, right? So now we go into, how can I adapt a team mindset? Because sometimes we look at those things and we feel like, no, I don't need that. But how can I be able to adapt a team mindset? So a statement here, John says in his book, is investing in a team almost guarantees a high return for an effort, because a team can do so much than an individual, right? Just an example, like, who's seen ants? Thumbs up, or just, who's seen ants the way they work?
I've seen them.
You've seen how they work, right? Just tell us, what good attributes do you see about them? Kerian, you had answered.
The way they work together. Let's just give a small example. The way they can carry a bigger insect so that they can feed the whole community. They're like small. Alone, they couldn't carry that insect, but many of them put together will be able to carry that one so that they can feed the whole community. I don't know. Yeah.
Even colon. Yeah, and that's very true, right? I love what she said, that they're able to carry large amounts of things that are heavier than they are. But it's not that the one person is doing it and they're like, yes, I am strong man, let's go. They decide to actually work together. So you find that, even if you ever notice, actually, when ants actually are carrying something, sometimes you see them make a long trail, right? Most of the time, it's not that they're saying that two people cannot travel all the way with that thing all the way until the column, but it's that space of, okay, fine, we are column, so let's move it over. The next person, come on, the next person. As you keep on going, and they keep doing that all the time. Or if you find others that decide to carry it when there are three of them, they keep on going. When another one meets them, they join them at the carry. It's not that thing where they say, no, go find your own food, right? But it's that space where they're like, yes, we're all celebrating together. But now, how then can us, with a team, leading a team, be able to do the same thing? How can we bring out that encouragement, that zeal for guys to say, yes, let's work together, because we can actually achieve greater things together? And it all now comes in from, how do you equip people, right? So I'm just going to give you 10 things. So how do you invest in your team? Number one, make decisions to build the team. Building a team is actually something you need to make a decision about. Deciding that people on the team are, one, worth equipping and developing is the first step into building your team. So when you find people are worthy of equipping them, then you're actually able to say, okay, fine, I need to build the team. And all this comes in from you making a decision to say, okay, fine, I need a team and I need to work on my team, right? Then number two is about gather the best possible team. The better the people in your team, the greater the potential. So it's not about saying that, okay, fine, you need to also neglect people, but it's how can you be able to Work with the people. So are you able to work with this individual? Are you able to work with another individual? Are you able to look at this person and say, okay, Van, okay, come. I'll even train you. I can see the potential that you have. I can see the leadership potential that you have, or the ability to do things, and let's work, right? Let me actually help you. Let me develop you as well. That's all you need to do. Number 3, pay the price to develop the team. Price does not really mean that you need to pay money. It will cost you to develop the team, but it will ensure growth of your team. The price maybe can be, are you actually, when it comes to money now, are you actually giving them enough trainings so that they can actually continue? That's 1. Or 2, are you taking enough time to be with these people, to speak to them one-on-one, not about work, just even to find out how they are in their life? Because this, what happens is someone feels like, okay, you care about me. So when you're able to develop me and you're able to make me understand where my strengths are, and you're able to make me see how can I be able to develop myself, then it becomes better. Then what happens is my growth is more. So what people then do is like, oh yes, amazing. I can actually be able to do this because this person gave me the ability to, right? Number 4, do things together as a team. If you're a team, don't try to decide to split yourself and say, okay, fine, no, I can be able to do things by myself. Here's why. The only way to develop a community and cohesiveness among your teammates is get them together. We've all watched the Fast and Furious series, isn't it? Right? Thumbs up, guys. You can answer thumbs up if you don't want to unmute. Thumbs up and just be able to say, yeah. So we've all watched the Fast and Furious series. We always know how Vin Diesel is talking about family and is just making sure that people understand that, yes, oh, okay, we need to be able to have a family. I think it was should have been either Fast and Furious, either 6 or 7, where Dwayne Johnson, Hobbs, is coming to tell Vin Diesel, "Hey, I need you to help me chase another team," right? And then Vin Diesel was like, "Hey, okay, you know what? It's gonna be me alone," because it was that space where after they had won that big money payday, and Brian now has a kid, so he doesn't want to involve them all together. But what then happens? Hobbs tells him, "I don't need you alone. I need your team." And it's just that space whereby everything was being done by a team. So if you saw how Vin Diesel was doing this, they come back, they regroup, they're like, okay, fine. So we need to work this out. Okay, how can we work this? Okay, fine. Rome, you and Nani take this. Oh, you and this person take this. Because eventually they all knew what they needed to achieve at the end of it all, but they worked as a team to actually have it done. So it's that space. Are you able to actually get your team to be part and to be team players, right? Number 5, empower your team members with responsibilities and authority. The greater growth for people often occurs as a result of trial and error. For me, this one, my testimony about it is when I joined Mavuno. Mavuno was able to give me a space to actually for trial and error, because when I didn't know how to get something done or when I failed in something, they were able to say, you know what, you can actually do that better tomorrow. It was not a, oh, you failed. Okay, fine. On your, what's this KP, key performance index, that's a 0. But they actually were able to develop me and say, okay, fine, how well can you do this? They were able to make me open my mind. They were able to maximize my potential. Like the leaders that I had were able to actually make me see the best in me. And when I was able to actually sprout myself out and actually see, and I'm like, oh, okay, truly I can actually get that done. It's much more easier. I don't know why I thought it was difficult, but it's because of that space where they gave me the opportunity and the ability to say, you know what, here, you can actually be able to work it out. Here, you can actually be able to do things. So that space where they pushed me and actually let me as well make my mistakes, but how do I correct them? Some balls will drop and they'll tell me, oh yeah, this dropped, but hey, you can actually be able to develop it. And that actually helped me, whereby I'm actually to improve myself, where I'm actually to understand, okay, what new things can I do? Where am I strength? Where am I weak that I actually need someone else to help me from? So that's how they're able to empower me. And all this worked so well. Number 6, give credit for success to the team. If you're the leader, take the blame, but never the credit. You know, that's something that I got to understand. And hey, it was really painful once I was even given a team to lead, because, you know, most of the time you want to, as a leader, you want to be like, yeah, our team was able to do these things. It was amazing. It was successful. And then when a ball drops, you're like, yeah, but it's okay. One person on my team actually failed it. Not really. If you're the team leader, you take the blame. We apologize for anything that has happened, and on my part, it will be me to actually work on it better. But once you're with the team and you guys have achieved success, tell them, hey, you guys did a good job. I could have never done it without you guys. So it's that space where you motivate them, you encourage them. But now on one-on-one doesn't mean that when someone drops a ball in the team, that you just leave it. No, it's how do you speak to them on a one-on-one? How do you make sure you encourage them so that you don't, one, make them embarrassed in front of the team or belittle them in front of the team, but how do you improve them when they're actually with the team? So encouraging, all this happens, and that's where it is. Number 7, what to see that investment in the team is paying off. Sorry, watch to see that the investment in the team is paying off. Observe whether you're getting a return for the time, energy, and resources you're putting in. You know, sometimes you feel like there's so many things that you're doing, and when you start doing them, you tend to feel like, okay, fine, yeah, let's keep on going. But with the time that you're actually doing all these things and working on them, are you actually being able to find the time and space to actually find out, okay, fine, the resources that we're putting in, the development that we're being able to give you, are we actually working towards getting it? Are we actually working towards our end goal? Are we working towards developing this person to be the person that we anticipate them to be, or we expect them to be, right? Or we desire them to be, or that we make this person grow and we see them sprout, right? And we're able to see them become greater people. We're able to see them become greater influencers, greater leaders in life. How well can we actually work on it slowly by slowly with these people, right? And then number 8, stop investing in players who do not grow. Tricky one, right? Stop investing in players who do not grow. If someone on your team refuses to grow or change for the benefit of their teammate, you must leave them behind. That's interesting. I looked at it and I was like, what does that mean now? Do you mean you just brush them on the side or everything like that? But if someone does not really want to be able to maximize themselves, if someone does not want to push themselves to expect growth from others or actually move in, but how well now do you help this person, right? Because there's that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? If someone feels like they're so egocentric, they feel like they're the it, they don't want to develop, they don't feel like they need time to actually work on themselves, it really doesn't work. It becomes difficult because what happens is you tend to waste resources, time, money to try and get this person, but eventually nothing happens. As we always say in ministry, pray for them and let the Holy Spirit work in them as you keep on working on them, but keep praying for them, not neglect them, not just push them out, but how else do you develop them? But if you're talking about business, if you have that, there is something you call bad debts and good debts. If it's a bad debt, do away with the bad debt. It doesn't need to hold you back from moving on. You move forward, right? Number 9, create opportunities for the team. When a team has the possibility of taking new ground or facing new challenges, it has to stretch to meet them. You might have a big business plan, and right now you start with your 5 employees, but within maybe the next 2 years, you guys have sprouted so much that 5 employees cannot be able to actually handle everything else. So now, how well do you say, okay, fine, let's get people to come and actually help us as well? So create opportunities for the team. when a team has a possibility of taking new ground or facing new challenges, it has to stretch to meet them. Just that's it. How do you be able to get these guys to say, okay, fine, I need you now. You're doing good, but now I need you to be the leader. So get people to work under you. So mentor people, grow people, stretch out and pull someone else. You bring someone in, make them understand. Now work it, move. Let's have continuity in how we're doing things, right? Then finally, number 10, give the team the best possible chance to succeed. One of the most essential tasks you can undertake is to clear obstacles so that the team has the best possible chance to work towards success. Give them the best possible chances to succeed. It's not about saying, oh, maybe someone needs some finances to do or to get somewhere, and you're like, there's no money. And maybe you could actually be able to provide for it or even fund it. Or someone has an idea. How well can you work on it? Sit down, work around it. How well can that be done? How can you improve and say, okay, fine, okay, that's a great idea. How can we be able to develop, or how can we pull up resources? How can we look for people who are ready to plug in? Don't ever just shut it down and just say, no, that can't be done. Let's focus on what you're supposed to do. Create an opportunity for them. When a statement that I got to hear one day was that as an employee, as you work for your employer is supposed to help you as well achieve to where you're going. As much as you're helping them also grow, but they're supposed to help you as well achieve to your growth. So it's not a win-loss, it's supposed to be a win-win basis. That's it. All right, that's how we look at things. Then, maybe just before I go into very much, am I clear? Any questions? Anyone have anything to ask? Okay. So if everyone has a piece of pen and a paper, this is what I would want you to do. This is something as well for you to keep on growing. Something that maybe you can just actually work on as you look at it or even reflect on it during this week. So the statement is, whom should I equip, right? So, and the statement that actually Max writes again is, everything rises and falls on leadership, right? Those closest to a leader will determine the success level of that leader, right? So the closer you are to the leader, you determine the success level of that leader. So the people closest to me will make me or break me. That's just how we put it out. The people who are very close to you will either make you or break you. And all this happens with, if they're closest to you, how then do you work it out? So this is what I want you to just do, right? List 5 people closest to you in your life. Just 5 people that are closest to you in your life. Do we have that? If you guys have it, just thumbs up. Or if you're still working on it, just put like a raised hand. Okay, I can see Joyce has. You have the 5 people? Good. Anyone else? Just 5 people closest to you in your life. All right, Aurelie has those 5. Okay, Alicia Bani has that. Anyone else? We're still working on it. If you have just those 5 people closest to you in your life. All right, Oben has it as well. Okay. Everyone has it. Can we go to the next one? Everyone has the first 5 people? Okay, I can see more thumbs up right now. Okay. All right, Kirian as well. Okay, good one. So here's my next question now. If you have a business, list 5 people you'd want to work with. If you have an idea, list 5 people that you'd want to work with. You have 5 people that are closest to you, and then now that you have an idea that you want to work with, list 5 people that you're sure that if I call these 5 people, this thing will actually be a boom. There is no recession. It will be a boom. We'll be going boom, 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 and we'll actually be getting bigger things. Do we have those 5 people? If you do, just a thumbs up again. All right, Joyce, you're quick. Seems like you have your people. Huh? Joyce, the same people who you had the closest to you are the same ones who actually are going to be in the business as well.
Yeah, I think I have a very small choice. So like,
What do you mean a very small choice?
like I'm limited with my people, so I just have a few to pick from.
Okay, that's interesting. Ali Shabani, yes, do tell me, how are your people? The same people or different people? Ali.
Alan, some are from the closest and some are not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else who's done? Yes, Rafael. Anyone else done? Thumbs up. You can just put a thumbs up and we move on. It's been a difficult choice for people to make right now, huh? Guys, you're starting a business. Who are those 5 people? Yes, Daniel. You have the 5?
Brother.
Yes.
Me, I have only 3.
You have 5 people that are closest to you? 5 people?
Yes, they're there.
Then for the business?
I have only 3. 3 people.
And those 3 people, are they coming from the closest or these are totally different people?
I think 2 from closest and then 1 from outside.
1 from outside. Okay, interesting. That's nice. I like this. Anyone else? Hey, Kerian, today? Okay, I see. So Kerian, tell us.
I also have 3 people for the business part, 2 outsiders and 1 from my class people.
Okay, all right. That's really good. Okay. Anyone else? Alex, Oben, Armand, O'Hurley, Raphael? Yes, Oben, you have them? Okay. Tell us, are they the same? Those that are closest to you and those that are outside, are they the same?
No, for the business people, only 3 are from the closest people and 1 outsider. So I have only 4 for business people.
You have only 4?
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right, I see. Alex, Armand, or Heli, or Raphael, just one more person. Any of you guys can tell us? Okay, I'm just going to choose that thing we used to do. Okay, Armand, thank you. You've unmuted.
Well, in my business, I think I will choose all of them in like my closest friends because I know them the most and we can go far with them than people I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, here's the thing. You became strategic and selective about the people that you keep close to you, isn't it? Now, this strategic about the people that, these strategies that you actually selected for the people closest to you, it's because here's the first thing. When I told you first, like people who are very close to you, you looked at people that actually you hang out with, you're ready, these guys are fun, these guys are interesting, and you're like, whoa, these guys, if literally I'm with them, I know there's a plot, I know I can have fun, I can never get bored. And then, apart from Arma, who has the same people who are close to him are the same people who has a business, who has all five. If you now, when I told you about the business, you started to say, I need now people who are serious. You started pulling back slowly, drifting. You're like, okay, you guys are close, yes, but if it comes to business, I think I need another bracket, right? And it's just that space, because as a leader, you need to know people that, as we said in that example, if someone is not going to actually be able to develop, if someone is not going to be able to help you out, and you want to be able to employ all your resources and skills in them to be able to do these things, sometimes you have to take a step back. But if they're your closest friends, you know, you're ready, you're like, yeah, guys, let's go. Because there's nothing you're losing. But when it comes to the business, you're now more focused and you're saying, where is my vision? What am I heading to? Or where are we going? So everyone is ready to buy into it and is ready to work hard to actually motivate you as well to lead them to get there. Because yes, at times you're saying we need to motivate the people, but how can they motivate it as well to actually get to where we want to get to, right? So an organization's growth potential is directly related to its personal potential. A company cannot grow until its leaders grow within. When leaders change positively, growth comes automatically, right? So when a leader changes positively, automatically growth comes in. So potential leaders carry the load. So winning by competitiveness and then winning by cooperation. Look at others as enemies. Look at others as friends. We talk about how people were able to see actually others as competition, and they want to now put them as enemies and say, you know what, you guys, we don't need to work with these people because they are competition. Yet, if you look at them as friends and partners, then what happens is you guys are able to learn from one another. And the moment you're able to learn from one another, then you're actually able to grow and you're actually able to elevate yourselves. Then when it's competitiveness, it's concentrate on yourself, but if you're cooperation, concentrate on others. So you need to be able to say, okay, fine, hey, I know your strength is speaking, your strength is writing, your strength is playing music, your strength is actually leading us. So all of us, let's come together. You lead us, tell us what you need to do. We have a vision, let's work on it. But if it's yourself, you're gonna be like, okay, okay, now I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do that. You become a master of all trades. I mean, a jack of all trades, but a master of none, right? So it doesn't help you. And then with competitiveness, there is small victory, cooperation, large victory. Competitiveness, some joy, cooperation, a lot of joy. So cooperation, competitiveness, there are winners and losers. Cooperation, there are no winners. So it's just that space where all of you are a team. With competitiveness, you want to find who's the winner, who's the loser, and that really doesn't help and get anywhere, right? So nothing that we look at. Leaders attract potential leaders. So good leaders are able to attract potential leaders because 4 things. Leaders think like them. Leaders express feelings that other leaders sense. Leaders create an environment that attracts potential leaders. And the last one, leaders are not threatened by people with great potential. You get it? So as I was telling you, everyone is a leader. All of us right now who are followers, we were all once leaders. So we have to be in that space of where we know that, 1, leaders are not threatened by the people with great potential in it. So equipping leaders expand and enhance the future of the organization. Most people produce only when they feel like it. Leaders produce even when they don't feel like it. So how you expand yourself, how you enhance yourself, It's for the future of the organization. It's not that, okay, today I don't feel like doing this. No. As a leader, you must be able to do it even if you don't feel like it. Because what you want to do, you want people to grow, you want to push, you want to give people zeal, and you want to keep on going. So just question, sorry. Questions maybe that you'd want to ask yourself, even with your team. Number one is, how do you rate your level of productivity? When you guys are working together, how do you level that level of productivity? Then maybe a question that you'd ask them, how would your leader rate you? Just think about it. If you're in their shoes and you're being rated, what do you want them to rate you, right? Or you as well, being a leader, how would you rate the people that you're actually working with, right? How would your team rate you now, right? So it's that space. As a leader, how do you rate your team? And then as a team, how do you rate your leader? And all this comes in whereby you want to see, okay, fine, are we ready to look forward for greatness? The next question, what does potential look like? Right. A statement from John Maxwell's book again is, great leaders seek out and find potential leaders, then transform them into good leaders. You can actually see people have that zeal to actually do something great. Are you ready to go out and say, hey, you know what? I believe in you. Come, right? So selecting the right players. The key of making the right choice depends on two things. One, your ability to see big picture. Number two, your ability to judge the potential of employees during selection process. One, being able to see the bigger picture ahead and actually being able to judge the potential of employees during selection process. Key things that you need to keep, 5 A's. So here are 5 A's that I would ask you, have them in mind, keep them in mind, because they will help. Assessments of needs, who is needed. Because remember, as a leader, you have a big picture, you have where your company is going or where your business is going or how you'd want to lead your family as well. I can't really say family because now you don't start saying, okay, fine, I don't want this wife, I need another wife. The person that you married is the person that you stay with. Yeah, I think it's just now, how do you be able to lead other people, right? So who do you need in your company? How do you then get them to fit in? Because they're going to come with all their skills and all their abilities and also their mistakes. But how do you make them fit in? Number two, assess assets on hand. Who in the organization is available? Right now, you have people in your organization. You see, okay, fine, now maybe this person is not being not say pushed, but is not being given enough work to do. And you feel like these guys have a greater potential. How much more responsibility can you give this person? How can they, like, you know, they have a task, but then that task is not stretching them. So how do you stretch them even better? Number three, ability of candidates. Who is able? It's not just saying, okay, because these are my friends, so I can actually get them into a business and then we'll do together. But do they have the ability to? So who is able? Number four, attitude of candidates. Who is willing? That's another one. So how do you be able to work on these attitudes? How do you be able to develop these things, right? Then number five, accomplishments of candidates. Who gets things done? But it's not just about saying, okay, fine, oh, so you can get things done, okay, fine. So here's, like maybe let's say you give an editor, you give them to do all the work and they're like, okay, I'll get that tomorrow. My brother, my sister, are you sure they're able to actually get it done, but also get it done the right way? That's another thing that you need to look at. Because you don't want to just get an edit and you're wondering, okay, what angles are these? Okay, how is this working out? These camera views, oh my God. What happened? Then you start asking, did you take the right shots? Are you sure you got the right footage? And yet it's that person, maybe they just compile things together and sent you a compiled video and said, here it is, right? So you need to be able to see that self, right? So here, qualities to look for in a leader, just 10 of them. Most of the things self-explanatory, so I just give you straight ahead. So 1, character. 2, influence. 3, positive attitude. You don't want someone who's pessimistic all the time. You need to have someone who's always giving you a positive vibe and telling you the truth, but also they have an opinion mind whereby they're telling you the truth so that you can actually see the greatness in what they can do. Number 4, excellent people skills. Someone who's able to talk to others, someone who's able to work in a team. Number 5, evident gifts. Number 6, proven track record. Number 7, confidence. Number 8, self-discipline. Number 9, effective communication skills. Guys, you want someone who can actually be able to communicate. Who can tell you, hey, so this is what's happening and we have a problem, so we're trying to sort it out. Not that you're gonna say, okay, fine, nothing happened, they keep quiet, balls keep on dropping, and then people are like, hey, what happened? And then that's when you get to find out. Something that could have maybe solved a few days back, but a few months down the line is actually what you have to solve. Then, discontent with the status quo. What do I mean by discontent with the status quo? Not someone who you're going to make a manager today and they feel like the name manager now means I am the boss. Come on. Let's not have that. So what does it take to equip a leader? Equipping, like nurturing, is an ongoing process. It's like how a mother nurtures their child, how a father nurtures his child. It's just that space. It's training, and it's a process that keeps on going and going and going, right? So training is generally focused on specific jobs, tasks. Training is only part of the equipping process that prepares a person for leadership. So your role as an equipper is, the ideal equipper is a person who can attempt or impart the vision of work, evaluate the potential leader, give him the tools he needs, and then help him along the way at the beginning of his journey. We talk about how when a child, when you want to teach them how to be able to make their bed, how to be able to arrange things, the first time you're not going to go and tell that infant and tell them, hey, go make your bed. No, what you're going to actually do is, one morning you're going to go make the bed for him. He or she is going to look at you and be like, oh, thank you very much. And they're going to be like, hey, mommy, thank you. All that, because eventually they want to get something. But the next day, you ask them, hey, let's do it together. The third day, you do it. The fourth day, you do it. After some time, you actually find that this child, it becomes a habit for them. They wake up. I know the first thing when I wake up, yes, I'll pray. I make my bed, and then I can go around. Not that you wake up, you do this to the blanket, and then you move on. Then you come back in the evening, you're like, oh, okay, this bed. You just enter the same position and just cover yourself. Like for me, I know, when I look at a bed that's not laid, coming back to it, I feel like as if, oh my God. So I have to lay it again so that I can actually sleep in it. That thing where I just throw myself in again and I'm like, no, it doesn't work. Yeah. So the equipper is a model. That's number one. So how do you model it? How do you show the example? Number two, the equipper now becomes their mentor. How do you help them? How do you work with them? Then the equipper becomes an empowerer, giving them the ability to be able to do it, challenging them, making them understand that they have also the potential to get things done, right? Develop a personal relationship with the people you equip. To build relationships, as we talked about in number one, begin by listening to them, listening to people's life stories. Then if you find their hearts, then you'll be able to give out their hands. Find out where their heart is, then actually their hands will work for you. Because some people are ready to work out for you, but then have you actually given the time to say, okay, fine, let me get to know this person. Let me get to know my employee. It's not about just saying, hey, okay, fine, you have a task to do here. Get it done. Some people will look at you and wonder, how come? There's no interest, there's no vested interest in you getting to know me, now you just want me to do something. Yes, some people will do it out of comfortability because you're paying them enough, but you won't get the maximum potential out of this person, right? Yeah. The next one, share your dream. All good leaders have a dream. All great leaders share their dream with others who can help them make it a reality. You know, if you keep dreaming and dreaming, there's nothing is going to happen. But remember, you need to actualize your dream into reality. So how then can you bring out your dream? How then can you share your dream so people can see and be like, hey, okay, this is my dream. And people are like, yeah, I believe in this. This is how I can work this out. And from this, then people actually get to work with you. Last one, ask for commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it when it's convenient. When you're committed to do something, you accept no excuses. You know, in your team, you need to be able to be a space whereby, are we ready to actually go for this? Are we ready to do this together? Are we ready to employ ourselves? Are we ready to push ourselves beyond our expectations? To determine whether your people are committed, first you must make sure you know that it will cost them to become a leader. Everyone here, you guys want to be people of real success. As much as you work on all these things, it's not that thing where you're going to sit in your bed and say, I will be a leader one day. I will be a leader one day. Yes, I am a leader today. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you effort. It's going to cost you actually reading, developing yourself, equipping yourself, adding value to yourself so that you can be able to add value to others. You know how to equip others, and you know how to take time and also work with these people. That's just it. Then set goals for growth. Make a goal appropriate. Make the goal attainable. Make the goal measurable. Clearly state the goal. Make the goal a stretch and put the goal in writing. The moment you're able to do all these things, imagine then you get to see the great things. Then you get to see your leadership ability. Then you get to work and you're able to develop yourself. Yeah. So that's the last part, Then it will be, this is actually related to your assignment, but it's yours personal for you to be able to reflect on it. Teamwork laws. This is something maybe you can grasp and have. Your teamwork laws. So they're just two, basically. But number two will be just broken down into a small set. So 2, the law of significance. 1 is too small to achieve greatness. That's number 1, the law of significance. You just have to know that 1 is too small to achieve greatness. So how can you be able to be significant? Does it mean that you need a team? Does it mean that you can make a difference with having and working with others? Number 2, the law of Mount Everest. As the challenge escalates, the need of the team elevates. This, the law of Mount Everest, this law is about gathering and growing a team to accomplish something bigger. So the law of Mount Everest, as you guys keep climbing that mountain, the challenge doesn't become easy. It keeps on getting harder and harder. But you guys, as a team, are you ready to keep on going? Are you ready to have more people to help you to develop, to actually reach that place? So 3 questions that you must ask yourself, mainly with the law of Mount Everest, is number 1, what is my dream? Who is on my team? What should my dream team look like? We've got that. Number 1, what is my dream? What it could be. Number 2, who is on my team? What is? Number 3, what should my dream team look like? What must be? Yes, guys. So that's it for today. That's exactly what I had. If you have any questions, any ideas, please do share, please do ask, and I'll be able to answer you. Okay. So I know I am not on video. So is everyone still with me?
Yeah.
All All right. Any questions or you're good?
Good on my side.
Okay. Anyone else? Ali, Meshach, Alex, Oben. Thank you very much, Aurelie. Yes, Ali.
Alan, wanted to ask if there's a way we can get at least notes, because I was trying to capture the qualities of a good leader, but managed to get 5. The other 5 I didn't get. So is there a way we can maybe get notes for reference?
So the best idea I'd give you is, because most of the notes in order to grab from what I'm reading. Is it okay then if I am able to send you the audio?
Yes, yeah, that will do. That will do.
All right. I can be able to send you the audio, but as well, all this information is still on YouTube and is still on Facebook and even Twitter.
Okay.
Actually watching us online. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And if you have any questions, if you have anything, please just write a comment and I'll be able to actually get back to you. And I'll be able to answer for those that are online. But yes, all this information is still available. It's not just on Zoom and the guys on Zoom. Yes. Yes, Mr. Mesh.
Well, thank you so much. Even though today I had a complicated day, but at least we thank you for the time you are giving us and the teachings. It's really helping us. We are starting to change. We are getting any single second. We're getting something like to correct ourselves. Because some of us, at least, we have this small leadership of the groups. You are like, sometimes we get tired of ruling people. Then you just have that thing of telling people. Me, I used to like, I'm sorry to say, like, I have a group of 15 people I always work with my small company of production. But like you reach somewhere where you have problems. You reach somewhere where you are working with people. Like for us, I do movie production and comedies. But like you reach people, like you are working on the content. Then you bring a content like your idea. Guys, you have to shoot about this. You reach a point where some people, they are like refusing what you are giving, while they can't give you their ideas. You're working with people, they're like telling you, no, we want this instead of this. So ruling those people and they put them in the same line the way you want, it's always a bit difficult. Me, I remember most of them. I should like, even I tell people, all of you go, I will get other people. Like you did somewhere umekasirika, you're like, just go, I'll get other people. Like you don't know, ruling or like leading.
Hello, Meshach, you still there? Okay. We pray for his Jonathan to be back, and he shall be back for him to continue explaining that amazing thing that he was trying to say. Right? Anyone else? If everyone is good, please, a thumbs up. I feel like I'm alone. Okay, thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Ali. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Woo! I was about to wonder, am I alone over here? But yeah, so just maybe it's also to recap. Last week there was a question that was asked, do you have to be a Christian for you to actually be a leader? I remember maybe I just didn't have an emphasis on how I answered it, but here is my take now. It's still my take again from last week, whereby I said that the Holy Spirit needs to actually work in. Great leaders work from the inside out. What does it mean to work from the inside out? Meaning that your self-development actually is what you bring out. Who you are on the inside is what you bring out. So as I had told you guys last week, that for me, my most inspirational book is actually the Bible. So what I say is Jesus worked on a personal leadership first, matters of character, right? So when he was here and still developing people within his working with disciples and doing all these things, he was actually working on them. So focusing on their character, on who they are. So at the core of these matters, right? At the core of these matters of character is integrity. Without integrity, no one will follow you. And if no one is following you, you are not leading. So leadership is truly an inside job. You know, as a Christian leadership, like as a Christian leader, so what would happen is you have to approach strategies of whereby you yourself are developing yourself, right? But you will remain faithful to your values, to your relationship with Christ. So that faithfulness, what you keep in you, is because God develops you, is because God created you, and God actually gave you the ability to think and lead in your capacity. So for me, what I can say is the Holy Spirit still is the person that will give you understanding, will give you direction, and truly, because you have him, he's able to lead you, you're able to become a leader. That's my take. All right, Meshach, there was something you were telling us before you went. You're muted, you're muted. Meshach, you're muted, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I said my phone went off. So it's like, yeah, because thanks God I had another one just. Okay, I was saying, yeah, that's what I was saying just about leadership, how dealing with people, like taking people from somewhere up to other point, it's not just easy. That's why I said we have to be a bit not that much smart and not that much stupid, because dealing with people is not easy. You can be dealing with some people in that same group. You have 2 or 3 people. They're having another small group in the group, just like to discussing about you. Then we come to realize later, like these 3 people in about 10 people or 15, 2 people have been doing their small meeting, like discussing about you as a manager or a director of something. Then at the end of the time, you come to realize that there have been a small meeting in the meeting, like in the group, soon we'll start, like we have a small group talking about what you are doing, like you may see how he is, see how every single time he's smiling. Then you come to realize in those same people, one of them will come again and talk what they have been talking about you. As a leader now, you have all those circumstances. That's what we met in a way of leading people. Like you found now the people you are thinking to lead, they have been planning something about you. I don't know, what can you advise us to do? Like, how should we behave? I think, first of all, perhaps we should say it's about the common sense, how we can understand certain things. That's why we have to learn more and more again to be like leaders. We have to accept everything, the good and the bad things. We have to say yes to make cost assist water, or if you have to make something to correct something, we can correct all of us. Because if it's not that, you can start with 20 people, then you find yourself you are 1 or 2 because of what dealing with people, especially human being, it's not simple. It's really not simple. And it's not easy. Yeah.
And I agree with that, because you can never fully understand how to work with someone, but you have a capacity whereby you as well groom yourself to be able to say, okay, fine, how can I be relatable to the people that I'm working with? And for me, I always go back, when something like this, I always draw back again to the Bible and I say, what would Jesus do? When people hated him, when people didn't want to be with him, when Judas Iscariot betrayed him, what did he do? He never decided to cast him out or tell him, hey, because of you, this and that. It's about showing with love, right? So these people, you can never fight fire with fire, right? You will obviously put out fire with the fire extinguisher, right? Because you need to be able to. So how do you do it? So if people are actually on the perverse side of you, give them love, give them the potential, because what you want to do easy, not easy, but here's the thing that you as a leader want to be able to develop these people, and you as a leader, Meshach, and you as a person who knows that you need to be able to disciple these people, if you decide to throw this person outside and not actually develop them, it's not about saying that in a group start now telling them, you guys are not listening, but how do you one-on-one work with them? How do you one-on-one take time to listen to all the things that are going through? And so listening to them, helping them, knowing their personal interest, you get to influence their life slowly by slowly. And this all takes time with saying, am I going to actually take the cost of my time to work with this person, my time to develop this person, my time to understand this person's problems? Because who the person is not definitely just because of saying, oh, that's the moment. There's always a background story. So how do you slowly get this person to know, okay, fine, how do I help them? How do I work with them? Because they didn't understand that, okay, if I'm working with you, I see your potential. I know you're a good leader who can actually do things. But then how do you develop? How do you work with this person? Get them to do things in a manner that now you're saying, okay, let's move forward. Remember how we were talking about the relationship last week?
Yeah.
101%, right? What's that one common goal that both of you get to focus on, that you work on it 100% and see everything fall into place? You have a goal that you want to get, but you can't just straight away say, okay, so forget about your family, let's work on this, right? How do you take time to work? But you have a focus, you have a vision, and you have a place that you're going. That when you guys work with it 100%, as you take time to know this person, to know how their interests, to develop them, then you get to see everything just actually falling into place with ease.
But sometimes again, there's where fire is needed. I'm sorry to say, because working with some people, you can't, all of them, they can't be same. Then we're like, you can try all those things, even though you tend to enter yourself in the Bible, just trying to make people look nice, and we can't transform ourselves like being like the ancient apostles. But when fire is needed there as a leader, you have to use it, because some people are not nice at all. Like let's give an example. I know there is an example I've been watching on news now. Me as a leader, I'm thinking, or I'm trying to imagine how can happen. Like you have your political party, you have been struggling with it for so long. Then it reached a time where a group of people, they just want to remove you as the leader in the party that we have been fighting for many years for so long. That's war. That's even more than war. So because the Bible is there, explain me how I should start now. If I can call them, then we have a talk. They're not understanding. Now explaining me how I should now accept to sit again with those people at the table, accepting watching them how they want to remove me to the seat that I have been working for so long, then they give it to another person. You see how sometimes leadership again, sometimes it tends to be complicated, because when you deal with people who really are not in the same way like you, use fire if fire is needed. That's me, I can say.
What do you mean? Let me just what do you mean by fire?
Like
these are the people under you.
yeah,
You are the one in charge of them.
The fire means what? Like if some of the people are really not working with them, put them aside. Like what Ishmael said earlier. If they are not really ready to work with you, leave them. Other side. You work with those who can accept you. So firing them outside the group or in a small group of people community, it should be the only solution than just every single time like pump at them. I don't know. You see. Those people are going to put you down for good for life.
As a leader, you must be a problem solver. So by fire, will your organization keep continuing doing well?
All of them can't be same. It's not all of them can. All of them, they can't be same, like having same ideas or same heart. So I'm saying for those who you can try to change them, you can try to talk to them as a leader. At the end of the time, they are not working with you. What do you think you have to do with them?
Okay, that's good perspective. But from the genesis, like what you were telling us before, you were saying that there was some people who will go and talk against you, not in the board meeting, but outside. So as a leader, how do you solve that problem? Of course, you must not concentrate on whatever that they're going to say from outside there. Yeah, they have not mentioned it to you in meeting. So your aim now is to look at the big picture, which is the vision of your company. Are they doing what you expected them to deliver in your company or not? If they're not doing that, then you have the right now to start firing them. But if you are firing them because of petty talks against you,
I don't think whether you're making the right decision. Yeah. So I prefer you can just them, you open a platform that they can hear out their problem. Why is it that, why do they talk against you? What is it that you've done to them? And you have already employed them in your company. What is the motive behind it?
I can agree with you. That's what I was saying. My example was, you can't miss those people. Just the people, just their mind is like they want to put you down. It's like, okay, they want perhaps to throne you, like they take that same place. Then you want to pamper them, like it's because, as a leader, you have to talk with them, you have to do all the thing with them. You know, sometimes there is a place where Bible is needed, and there is a place where force is needed. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian. I don't understand it. Shame, I don't say I'm not a Christian. But sometimes we have to use force where it's needed. That's what I came to realize. Because when we take this perspective in a political way, what I'm watching in all the African countries, how they are working, you're going to find someone has a collaboration with another person. But when they reach a place where they want to see the fruit of what they have been working with, they start fighting. With another person.
Just a second. Ben, yes, you've raised your hand. Please tell us.
I think, Meshach, I've heard you. All of us, we have heard what you are saying. But as a leader, personally, I think you have to be strong, prepared, emotionally and psychologically. When it's come to politics, they are your followers. The person who are following today, they can be the same person who will try to take you down tomorrow. So being a leader is not easy. Like Alain, you said, it's not easy. But when you're trying to mix your feelings with leadership, I don't think you can succeed because you have to be strong emotionally. Yeah.
And I like that because and I agree. Let's check what you said. Politics is all about leadership. But here's what I'll give you. I'll give you a biblical political example that you're going to need. Okay.
Yeah.
If you remember David, right? When he was a leader, isn't it? And then his son, Absalom, came to overthrow him because of something he had not done. Remember that?
Yeah.
What did he do? Did he fight him or he just decided to go?
That's a problem. The Bible always complicates me. It comes to the Bible.
Here's something. The reason why that happened was because David, even from the beginning, when it was Saul who was leading and everything, for him, he never fought for anything, but God actually raised him to where he was. Every place that he went to, he was being raised. So at that place in time, when that happened, he was like, I'm not going to fight it. If God gave me and it's my time to leave, let me go now. But because Absalom decided to take it, overthrowing him and putting him on the side. Now, what happens at that point in time? Where God has placed you, if it's not your time to go, you're going to be put back. What happened? David was able to have an army within the place he was hiding, and people were able to help him. And later on, he was brought back to the throne. So it's that space. If God has called you somewhere, no matter what obstacles come in your way, you will actually prevail because God's will is in your life. So even if people talk about you, even if people say this or say that, everyone is going to have a comment. You can't impress everyone. As a leader, not everyone is going to like you, right? But if you stick to your values, if you stick to your principles, if you stick to who you are, and be real with people, real meaning you have a relationship with them, you can equip them, your attitude towards them is good, and then your leadership is also of top notch. Then who you are, exemplary, sets you to be a place higher than how these people are speaking. So it's that space of whereby God has actually given you that ability and you're in that position. He's not going to take it away just like that. Because most of these battles are not of flesh and blood, they're in the spirit. So You just have to pray and seek God and know that everything is actually going to be okay. That's where I give my advice.
That's the Bible. Thank you so much.
All right. I think Mashak, we'll have more conversations. I'll reach out to you.
Yeah, next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll reach out even during the week and let's
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. All right, thank you guys very much. This has been amazing and it's been actually a great. Obin, I see you've raised your hand. Yes.
Obey.
I just have a question.
Yes.
Some of us we are not part in the last station. Is there any record you can forward to us?
Yes,
So
I
we can
do.
be on the same track.
Yes, I can be able to send in mail. I will be able to send you the record on mail.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Ali says Gaddafi was maybe one of the best leaders in Africa, but he got killed because he wanted to sabotage others people's interests. And in politics, people don't think twice. You play with the interests, they eliminate you real quick. Okay, guys, this is not a political class. Right? Yeah. We'll take this politics somewhere else. All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you guys very much. It's really great just to get to hear these conversations and see how people are actually growing.
Thank you so much for your time too.
Yeah, let's sharpen one another. Let's keep on encouraging one another. And yeah, if you have more people, don't let your brother sleep in and you're just here getting all the knowledge. Wake them up, right? Wake them up and let them come and join us. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Let us be able to pray and we can call this a session. Yeah. Our God and our Father, we thank you for this amazing time. We thank you for this opportunity that we just get to come and share ideas and also sharpen each other, our Heavenly Father. Just as you said in your word in Proverbs, as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. And so this is our time that we get to work on each other. We get to improve each other. We get to develop each other, Lord God Father, as we pull each other to strength and to greatness, O Lord God Father. For as you said in your word that we are not created for mediocre, but for greatness. And for this, we know that it is your will that will always prevail in our lives. So we thank you and we honor you, Father. And we ask, Heavenly Father, that you continue working on us and you continue being with us. I pray for all those that are not able to join today, Lord God, Father, that next time they're able to actually wake up and be able to join the meeting. So we honor you and we cherish you. We pray all this trusting and believing in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
No internet issues next week.
Amen.
We shall all be okay.
Amen very much.
All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. Have a lovely day. Enjoy your Saturday.
You too.
You too.
All right, then.
Thank you, Anna. You too.
You're welcome. Joyce, I can see you unmuted. Do you have any question?
Oh, no. But thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Hey, Alex, today you were silent. Were you here?
Yes, I was there. I was here. I was hearing everything you were saying.
All right, great. Today you didn't have questions. You were the most quiet. Last week, you asked me questions. Today I was like, oh, Alex, no question.
Well, I had one, but maybe I'll get time to maybe ask, or if you want, I can do it today. I was still formulating. I was still thinking about it in my day.
All right, no problem. If you're still formulating during the week, I'm available as well. But if you want to share it during the class session, so what you can do is you just write them down, and they can be the first things that I actually answer when you log on next week.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
All right, no problem. Just make sure it's 9 o'clock. All right. Obin and Amina, are we having conversations? we're still here.
No, we are not having conversation, but thanks for the package you brought.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We are enjoying the food.
I'm grateful for that, and yeah, honor. Amina, you still there? Amina. Amina. All right, guys. Thank you very much for the amazing time that we actually got to spend together. I really appreciate it. Yes, that was week 2. So that was part 2 of how to become a real success. So we're talking about equipping. That was really great, and I appreciate you. For those that are online, I am really grateful for taking time to actually just listen to this. And yes, we praise God. Today my YouTube actually worked. I didn't have to upload the video again. I just had to do live. That was really great. So yes, thank you very much for all this. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Yes, have a great day and see you next time. Same time, same place, Saturday, 9 a.m. Till next time. Bye-bye.